29, and you know where you stop, so I'll let you pick up, Porter.
Can I be Lennox or whatever?
I'm Lennox.
Let's go. Come on. He's not listening.
Mr. Goose, knock, knock, never act quiet. What are you? But this place is too cold for hell. I'll devil Porter it no further. I had thought to have let in some of all professions that go to the primrose way, the everlasting bonfire. Anon, I pray you remember the porter.
And then you open the gate, because this is a castle. It's like going to your official front door. But here's the deal. We've already, and it's about to get even worse if we can get there today, I want you to look for all the signs that the gates of hell have been open in Scotland. The hooting of the owl. I realize we're determined owls, it seems like no big deal. But back in the day, it was scary. Like that was the bird that meant Satan is somewhere around. Somebody's going to die. And Lady Macbeth mentioned that she heard that. Now you keep talking about someone knocking at the gates of hell. And then, boy, we're going to have a really weird conversation by the end of this with great evidence of weirdness going on that I do not want any of us to scientifically explain, because this is Shakespeare class. This ain't science. All right, enter my man Macduff, and you've met Lennox before. Lennox is an official worker with the king. Macduff, you haven't met yet, but he's awesome. Trust me, he's good. All right, McD.
Was it so late, friend, ere you went to bed, that you do lie so late?
Faith, sir, we were carousing till the second cock, and drink, sir, is a great provoker of three things.
What three things does drink especially provoke?
Okay, and before you get to the super funny part, please remember that we're very close to the Arctic Circle, and you know how right now it's getting dark at about 6 o'clock here? Yeah. I want you to imagine it not getting dark there at certain times of the year till about midnight, and then the sun starts gently coming up at 3 a.m. Yeah? So that's what he's talking about. Basically, Macduff is here in the middle of the night. But it's been like a crazy good time party, you know? Well, except, we killed Duncan yesterday. But otherwise, it was great up until then. You know, everyone was staying up, drinking, having fun, eating this and that, dancing, carrying on, laughing. And my Porter, you're probably still a little tipsy, okay? So that explains, I think, what you're about to say. Because Macduff's really messing with you. He's like, oh really? Well, what three things does drinking heavily, alcohol, what does it provoke? So let's hear the first three things.
Marry, sir, nose, painting, sleep, and urine.
Okay, so nose painting means that your nose tends to get a little red when you've had a little too much brew. Yes? It also means that people tend to get pretty sleepy when they've had too much to drink. And the urine thing, well, if you drink a lot, it makes you go pee-pee.
That's kind of...
The next one gets weird. But I just want to say, what do we call it? Just go ahead and read. I'll let you know what we call it.
How do you say that word?
Lechery.
Lechery, sir, it provokes and unprovokes. It provokes the desire, but it takes away the performance. Therefore, much drink may be said to be an equivocator with lechery. It makes him and mars him, and it mars him. It sets him on and takes him off. It persuades him and disheartens him. Makes him stand to and not stand to. In conclusion, equivocates him in his sleep, and giving him the lie leaves him.
Okay, you love the word equivocate, but being lecherous, you're talking about the guy that's maybe had a little bit too much to drink, and he's like, I love you. I love you so much. You're so I love you. You know me, I love you too. I love you so you're a delight. I love you.
Oh, thank you.
I love you too. It can go on so long, and they can get a little too touchy-feely that you're like, whoa, back off, and it's a little, like, whoa. Okay,
It's like the Sunsets and the Outsiders.
It's a little bit like the Sunsets and the Outsiders, yes. But basically, I mean, he just love everybody. But if you're not, that can really get on your nerves pretty quick. All right, so let's see. You're just absolutely hilarious. But listen. Do you see what Shakespeare's doing? We have to release this tension. We killed the king yesterday, so to have this guy wake up in the middle of the night, trying to walk to the door in a straight line, but he can't because he's had too much to drink. So already watching him is hilarious. But then he starts like complaining about opening up a door. Too funny. And then someone like Macbeth asks you, well, I'm sorry, what does drinking do to you? And you're like, I gotta pee-pee all the time. I mean, this is going to relax the audience, and you never get such a big laugh as after a tragedy.
Miss Darling, can I use the restroom?
Yes. And we've just had a tragedy. And with that tragedy, everyone's really tense. And then you get some buffoon, coming up on the stage, trying to stay on his feet, but he's had too much to drink. Yeah, complaining about a door, and then talking about having the pee-pee and like, I love you, man, kind of things. You're never going to get a bigger laugh than when you've made them real tense. So it's really nice. But Shakespeare does this. He really kind of releases the tension with some comic relief, is what it's called.
So Porter is
All right, Porter and Macduff, let's go.
I believe drink gave thee the lie last night.
That it did, sir. I the very throat of me, but I requited him for his lie, and I think being too strong for him, though he took up my legs sometime. Yet I made a shift to cast him.
Is thy master stirring? Our knocking has awakened him. Here he comes.
Now, even though we're in Inverness, and I know the king is visiting, and he's the top guy in all the land, this is still Macbeth's castle, and he's still master of the castle. So when you are asking about your master, you are talking about the owner of the castle, even though the king is there. Well, his spirit's not there, but his body is because he's dead. But you were asking about Macbeth. So here comes Macbeth, and Lennox first, please.
Good morrow, noble sir.
Good morrow, both. Is the king stirring, worthy Thane? Not yet. He did command me to call timely on him. I have almost slipped the hour. I'll bring you to him. I know this is a joyful trouble to you, but yet 'tis one. We labor, we delight in physic and pain. This is the door. I'll make so bold to call, for 'tis my limited service.
Yeah, you know what you're doing right now? You're apologizing for coming to the castle in the middle of the night because you're really just late to the party. And you need Macbeth. You've asked to speak to the king. And you look at Macbeth, you're like, oh my gosh, it's okay. I know, I just woke you up. Listen, why don't you just show me which door is King Duncan's and I'll go wake him up. Which is exactly what you want because you're afraid of your wife. Yeah? Listen, she told you to go put your pajamas on and pretend like nothing happened. You want someone else to discover the body. Yeah, because otherwise they're going to possibly go, whoa, did you see how Macbeth reacted when he discovered King Duncan's body? Don't you think that was really weird? Seemed kind of fake. We need someone else to go discover the body. So guess who that someone else is?
Not at me.
Macduff. Okay, next page. Lennox.
Goes the king hence today.
He does. He did appoint so.
The night has been unruly, very late. Our chimneys were blown down, and as they say, lamentings heard I the air, strange strains of death, and prophesying with accents terrible, or dire combustion and confused events. New hatched to the woeful time, the obscure bird clamored the live long night. Some say the earth was feverish and did shake.
Okay, hold on, Macbeth. Because it's going to be Lennox and an old man who gives us the best evidence that the gates of hell, the portals of hell have been opened in Scotland. That since Macbeth really made that pact with the three witches, it's game on for the devil. Because now he's got someone who could be king. So, Lennox is our first. Yeah? You said that this night's been unruly. This night's been crazy. Where we were laying, chimneys were being blown down. The wind was so strong, it blew chimneys off of houses. Scientifically, and I did say like, let's not go science, but that could happen because our hurricanes, when they leave here, they go across. They're gonna hit France all the way up to Highland, Scotland. Then, yeah, I mean, don't just think like once they leave America, they head straight there. Straight there. There was a hurricane, gosh, 20 years ago now, that I can remember the name, that was really strong here. And we were warned about it. We were having Christmas with my dad in Paris. And they're like, I don't know, it seems to be coming right for y'all. And my dad was like, a hurricane never hits Paris. Guess what?
It hit Paris.
It hit Paris. The same one that went through Charleston. Okay? So it's not unheard of, but it gets weirder. Because then Lennox says, in the air, now I know it could be the wind, he heard strange screams. And then the screams became words, like prophesying. Like witches that give you prophecies.
Hey, third witch.
Yeah? And he said the accents of the, whatever the voices were terrible. That were giving prophecies like, tomorrow you'll die, and things like that, yeah? Then he says that, well, I don't know, cries in the air, strange screams of death up there, of dire combustion and confused events new hatched to the woeful time. It seemed like those voices started speaking in what we like to call tongues. In a language, different languages, but when you say that someone is speaking in tongues, it's as if it's a language that we can't quite tell that doesn't exist. Possibly.
It's like demon language.
Demon language. Okay? Then, once again, he ends all that craziness with, and then I heard an owl.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Here you go. Oh, that's bad.
Can we watch Friday the 13th?
At that time, it really was. Yeah, it really was bad. Like we talked about yesterday, nowadays it's crows, but back in the day, owls. And they still are, considered, like I said. But whoa, you hear an owl and these people are freaking out. Lady Macbeth, who would dash a baby's brains out, is afraid to hear a hoot. All right, Macbeth.
Can I use the restroom?
Yes.
It was a rough night.
My young remembrance cannot parallel a fellow to it.
Okay, Macduff, guess what you've got to tell us?
Oh, horror, horror, horror. Tongue nor heart cannot conceive nor name thee. What's the matter? Confusion now hath made his masterpiece most, how do you say that word?
Sacrilegious, which means against God in heavens.
Most sacrilegious murder hath broke out the Lord's anointed temple and still tends the life o' the building. What is you say, the life?
Mean you his majesty.
Approach the chamber and destroy your sight with a new gorgon. Do not bid me speak. See and then speak yourselves.
All right, then it says, as it exit Macbeth and Lennox, but do you know the name of a Gorgon? Do you recall a name of a Gorgon from Greek mythology?
Yes.
If she looks at you, then you turn to stone. What's her name? Medusa. Yeah, she had sisters, by the way.
Oh, she did.
So he's saying that it's such a horrible sight that it would be like a Gorgon looking at you and turning you into stone. All right, so they're away. They're going to look at the body. You start talking again.
Awake, awake. Ring the alarm bell. Murder and treason. Banquo and Donalbain. Malcolm, awake. Shake off this downy sleep. Death's counterfeit. And look on death itself. Up, up, and see the great doom's image. Malcolm, Banquo, as far from your graves rise up and walk like spirits to countenance this horror.
What's the business that was such a hideous trumpet to parley the sleepers of the house? Speak, speak.
Hold on. What did you mean?
It sounds like she's saying a spell.
Oh, for Macduff?
Spirits rise from your grave.
Yeah. All right. Let's go back up. Now he's freaking out, and he's a very brave, courageous man, but he has just witnessed a pretty gruesome sight for the king that's well loved. He says, murder and treason. I had that underlined. It's not just murder, but it's treason as well. He wakes up Banquo and Donalbain. More than likely, he's running through the castle and ringing every possible bell he can to wake up everyone. I need Banquo, I need the sons, I need Donalbain, and I need Malcolm, because that's their dad that's dead. But being a king, he's more than that. Because according to what we already know, Malcolm is supposed to be king next.
So I'm supposed to be king.
Then he's telling them to shake off that sleep, that thing that looks like you're dead. You know, I don't like taking pictures of people when they're sleeping. Like little babies when they're sleeping or kids when they're sleeping, because it's creepy.
My mom loves that.
My mom
And it looks
Um,
like dead.
Look on death itself. I need for you to come out and take a look. And like this I can't believe what I just saw. Up and see the great doom's image, Malcolm and Banquo, as from your graves rise up. You know what that is? Foreshadowing. Because they're not going to be around for long.
Oh. How do you know that? Is he gonna kill them?
Well,
Oh yeah!
this is actually based on history. I ruin movies for my husband too. I know a lot about Viking history, so when he's watching the Vikings on A&E or History Channel, whatever it is, and I tell him what's going to happen next season, he tells me to leave the room. Just get out right now. You're going to ruin it for me. Just get out. Yeah, sorry. It's based in history. Are we on? Oh, look, Lady Macbeth. Lady Macbeth was like, what's going on? I have no idea. Look what you say to her, Macduff.
Oh, gentle lady.
Yeah, right.
'Tis not for you to hear what I can speak. The repetition in a woman's ear would murder as it fell.
That's what made her upset that day when Keller had to read for Lady Macbeth. Remember that? When she was about to dash the baby's brains out and she was talking about, I wish I could have the soul and the heart of a man. I'm tired of people treating me like a girl. He just treated you like, all my Lady Macbeths, he just treated you like a girl, but he's not trying to be unkind. It's just how it is. He's like, girl, I can't tell you because you have a gentle woman's ear. That's what makes her mad. That's why she said what you did, and you had to say that day. I mean, she's had it. Like, I can do all of this. I would make a great king. Oh, yeah, I'm a girl. Darn it. You know? It really gets on her nerves. All right, re-enter Banquo. Still you, McD.
Oh, Banco, our little
Banco.
Get him.
Our royal master's murdered.
You got me.
Whoa, Alice. What, in our house?
I don't remember who's Banquo.
So,
Oh, no. Oh, Sono's Banquo. Never mind.
Huh? Braylon's Banquo, but Sono.
Are you banky today?
Because you.
Have at it. Come on.
You're studying.
You
Okay.
can do it.
Too cruel anywhere, dear dove, I pry thee, contradict thyself, and say it is not so.
All right, McB, you come on in. Gotta pretend.
Had I but died an hour before this chance, I had lived a blessed time, for from this instant there is nothing serious in mortality. All is but toys, real and grace is dead. The wine of life is drawn, and the mere less is left this vault to brag of.
Yeah, you're basically saying now that you know that King Duncan is dead, everything doesn't matter anymore. No, I mean, nothing's serious anymore. How can we?
The TV made some of the words hard to read because my iPad died.
Oh, I'm sorry. And I can't scroll any more. All right, Malcolm and who's Malcolm and Donalbain?
I'm Malcolm.
Malcolm. I've got Malcolm, Donalbain, and Macbeth. Okay, so let's go this way, Donalbain. It's gonna be interesting.
What is amiss? You are and do not note.
What?
Note, yeah.
Know it. The spring, the head of fountain of your blood, it is stopped. The very source of it is stopped.
Your royal father's murdered.
Oh, by whom? Those of his chamber, as it seemed, had done it. Their hands and things were all bagged with blood. So were their daggers, which unwiped you found upon their pillows. They stared and were distracted. No man's life was to be trusted with them.
Perfect. That means Lady Macbeth's plan worked. When you walked in to evaluate the crime scene, you saw exactly what she wanted you to see. You saw the two guys who didn't do it, that she got drunk the other night, right? You saw them covered with blood, their daggers with them, they're bloody, they're gory. Clearly, these two guys did it.
18
Okay.
plus.
All right, Macbeth.
Oh, yet I do repent me of my theory that I did kill them.
Hold up.
Or what?
Did he just confess?
Yeah, so don't you know that Lady Macbeth is like freaking out in the background right now? Oh, it gets worse. Hold on.
What did he say?
That's exactly what Macduff is about to say. Go, Macduff.
Wherefore did you so?
Like, what?
Oh, I thought he was saying he killed the guards.
No. Let's see.
But he said them.
Yeah.
Who can be wise?
It gets
and
weirder.
made temperate and furious, loyal and neutral in a moment. No man. Okay. No man. The expedition of my violent love. Autumn, the pasture region. Here lay Duncan, his silver skin laced with his golden blood, and his gashed stabs looked like a breach in nature. For ruins wasteful entrance, there he murdered. There the murders, steep in the colors of their trade, the daggers. What does that word say?
Unmannerly breach.
Unmannerly breached with gore, who could refrain, that had too heart to love, and in that heart courage to make love known.
Okay, hold on, Lady Macbeth. Yes, ma'am.
Can I get Kylie?
Sure, absolutely.
Her dad's in trouble.
All right, so here's what's going on. Up at the top, when he did say, and Emmy was paying attention to the pronouns, where he's confessing murder, go back, and it does say that I did kill them. Still, though, you're like, have Lady Macbeth going, when did we plan? Who said what? Really? Okay. And then Macbeth starts talking about why he killed them, but he just keeps going on and on and on. And she knows her husband, and she's like, oh my God, he's never going to shut up, and then he's going to say something wrong, and it's all over. So what does she do? Let's go with her line, Lady Macbeth.
Help me head toe.
And she falls down and pretends to faint.
Oh, look to the lady.
Perfect. Oh, let's get to the next page. Malcolm?
Why do we hold our tongues? That most may claim this argument for ours.
What should be spoken here? Where our fate, hid in an anger cold, may rush and seize us. Let's away. Our tears are not yet brewed.
Nor our strong sorrow upon the foot of motion.
Look to the lady.
Bye bye.
And still you, Banquo, because she's being carried out.
And when we have our naked fertilities hid that suffered an exposure, let us meet and question this most bloody piece of work to know it further. Fears and scruples shake us. In the great hand of God I stand, and fence against the still pretense I fight of treasonous malice.
And so do I.
1, 2, 3. So, oh. All right, McBee.
Let's briefly put on mainly redness and meat
What are we?
readiness and meat I behold together.
And then 1, 2, 3. Well contented. All right, so here's the deal. Banquo is like, all right, listen, you do realize that we're all standing around here in our pajamas. Okay, I'm a little shaky myself. Lady Macbeth just passed out. Macbeth is killing people without a trial, so okay. Here's what we need to do. Everyone, let's take a minute. Let's go upstairs. Let's put on some real clothes. Everyone meet me back down here and we're going to talk about this and we're going to figure out what really happened. Because he feels that Macbeth acted too rashly. Like, wait a minute, why do you just go upstairs and immediately kill the guards? I mean, don't you want to investigate? I know what you saw, but it seems like there should be some investigation. That was really fast. Then who told you it was going to be okay to just go and do that? He has a real problem with it. So, let's, as far as naked frailties go, it means we're standing around in our pajamas. Can we go put on some big boy pants and come up downstairs and talk about it? Yeah? Let's all just take a moment, because this is kind of crazy. So, I love me some Banquo. Alright, now, the problem is Malcolm and Donalbain. And this is a problem that still happens in America. You do realize that their dad was just murdered. Nobody knows who did it, really. Yeah, where our proof right now looks like the guards did it. Macbeth just killed them, so we're not going to get a story from them anymore. If there is a murderer in the castle in this murder mystery, if the murderer is out for the king, wouldn't it make sense that this murderer, and I want you to pretend like you don't know what you know, wouldn't it make sense that the murderer is going to go after the two sons who will end up being king?
Yep.
Now, don't you think these two boys are scared? And they're looking around at everyone in the castle going, anyone could have done this. I don't know that it was necessarily the guards. It could have been the guards. Macbeth could have taken care of this for us, but I don't know. We don't know who to trust right now. So let's run. The problem with running away from a crime is that it tends to make you look guilty. Exactly.
We learned from the outsiders.
Exactly. We did learn that from the outsiders. So, I will tell you though, there's also, as we read in the outsiders, other reasons to run away from a crime. You could be scared for your own life. Because we know this is dramatic irony. Dramatic irony is when we're watching that scary movie and we know where the axe murderer is and the person who's about to be killed doesn't know. That's dramatic irony. When your audience knows more than the people actually in the story. We know who killed Duncan. Malcolm and Donalbain don't. And they're scared. These two boys are scared for their life. So let's see what their plans are. All right, Malcolm and Donalbain.
What will you do? Let's not consort with them. To show an unfelt sorrow is an office, which the false man does easy. All to England. Donalbain? Anyone?
Oh, sorry. To Ireland. Our separated
All right.
portion. All peoples.